What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm gonna show you my wildcard draft for game week 28. I know a couple of you guys are using your wildcard this week, so I just want to show you which team I would build if I was gonna wildcard this week. So first I'm gonna show you like the team selection pretty much, and then after that I'm gonna show you some alternative players you could go for in case you want to go for someone else or you don't have enough cash or whatever. I'm gonna show you alternative players in the end as well. So let's get straight into it. Also to let you know that game week 29 is going to be a blank game week. So only 8 teams are playing, I think. So this team obviously is going to have that in mind, but it's not going to solely focus on game week 29 because this is your last wildcard. You have to think long term. So I think this team has 8 players playing in 29, which means that you could use your free transfer next week to get a 9th player in as well. And I think 8-9 players is totally fine because I think most people are going to have 8 or 9 players maximum, unless they're using the free hit. So I think that might be fine as long as you have the key players for game 29. I think that might be fine with 8 or 9 players. You could obviously use some of the alternative players I'm going to show in the end to get a full 11, of course, if you want. But let's get into it. So the defense is going to be Martinez, Cresswell, Diaz, and Target. All around, really good choices, I think. Diaz, the most nailed on City defender. I think if you want to go for a City defender right now, you should definitely go for Diaz. I wouldn't double up on the City defense anymore because of rotation risk pretty much. I think they're still good for clean sheets, but I think Diaz is the only one you can really count on playing every game. Then we have Cresswell, looking so good. I think he's the highest scoring defender, isn't he, right now? He's just so creative. He gets a lot of assist points, a lot of bonus points because he gets assists. Just a great player. I'm gonna look to get him my team for sure very time soon. And he also has a game in 29, which is really good. And Martinez and Target, of course, you know I love Martinez. Target I go for just because he has the game in 29 as well. And he is a good defender. He can have some upside as well, offensive upside to get some assists. So I think it's a good option as well, especially for 29. Then you can look to maybe switch him for another player later on. I'm going to show you some alternative players, as I said, that you can switch him for in the future. But I think this defense is really good, and all of them except for Diaz is playing in 29. Then the midfield. So, the first one is maybe Bale. I think you should go for Bale at this point if you're going to wildcard. If you already have Son, keep him. I have Son, I got Son instead of Bale last week. I couldn't really decide. Obviously it was a wrong decision because Bale got 14 points and Son got 5 points. But I think in the long run, to the end of the season, I think Son is definitely going to score a lot of points too. And we don't know about Bale's fitness, of course, if he's going to last the whole season. But if you're gonna wildcard now, I think you should get Bale instead of Son. He is a more exciting player right now, and he is in very good form, of course, and he is a bigger differential. I think it's like 5% over right now, while Son is like 55, so it's a good differential. I think you can go for the City midfield. Gundogan should definitely have because he is so cheap, such good value for money. He hasn't scored a lot in recent weeks, but he still has gotten chances, and I think that he will score soon again. De Bruyne, against United, he wasn't that great. He is the player I think he needs to find back his form. So you might not want to go for him in your wildcard. I think that you could go for him and then switch him out later if you want to, if he doesn't seem to find his form back. Because right now he's a little bit iffy, but we know the quality of De Bruyne. I think he's a great player. I would get him in my wildcard. You could definitely wait with getting him if you want to see him perform a little bit more before. And then we have Fernandes against West Ham United. Pretty difficult fixture on paper, but Fernandes against West Ham last time, he came in, he was subbed on in the second half, and he got bonus points, even though he played just in the second half. It's crazy, like he was so good in that game, the minutes he played. And Fernandes is a great player. Like a lot of people transferred him out last week. I didn't, because I know that he can hurt any team, and he did against Manchester City. I wouldn't dare to switch him out. One player you notice in this team right now is that Salah is missing. He's the one I would transfer out if you're going to transfer him out, not Fernandes. Salah could also get points in any game pretty much, but Liverpool are really shaky right now. I would wait with the Liverpool assets until we see Liverpool picking up some form again, because right now they're just not good enough. And the attack, so Kane, Gibbon, you have to have Kane, the best striker option in the FPL right now. Antonio, I think, is a great option as well. He also has a game in 29, and I think you definitely a good option. Then we have Richarlison. So this player, he doesn't have a game in 29, but he looks like Everton's best attacking option right now. The way they're playing, Calvert-Lewin is more like a hold-up player and trying to attract attention from defenders, while Richarlison is the one going deep and getting the passes. So I think Richarlison, out of DCL, Richarlison is the best option, and they have really good fixtures. They don't have a fixture in 29, but they have good fixtures. Burnley now, I can't remember who they're playing in. Is it Crystal Palace? I think they have a really good fixture in game week 30 as well. So I think Richarlison is a good option to go for on a wild card. And the bench, pretty strong bench in my opinion. A Forster, a 4.0. Okay, I forgot to change his fixtures, but a 4.0 goalkeeper that right now is starting for Southampton, which is great, because you do want to have. And the other option is going for a 3.9 goalkeeper that is not playing. So why not go 4.0 and have a player that actually is playing right now? Great option. Then we have Anderson, who I think looks really exciting when he plays. I forgot to change the fixture because he's playing at Manchester City, of course. But 4.50 defender that plays in 29. And Fulham looks pretty solid defensively lately, and Anderson looks really good. So he's an exciting differential pick, I would say. Then we have Fpl Gw. I forgot to change the fixtures on all of these defender bench players. I'm sorry about that. But obviously Fpl Gw is more expensive. I think it's 5.7 million. He is the most nailed on Chelsea defender as of recently. I think he played all the games, 9 of 9 games since Tuchel took over. So he is like the most nailed on player. He's not the most exciting defender in Chelsea, but he's the one getting the most minutes. And I think Chelsea defense is definitely something you want to jump on because they're so good. They have really good fixtures coming up. They don't have a game in 29, but they have really good fixtures coming up. And then Rafinha, because he has a game in 29, and I think he's really cheap, and he's also a very good player. I like him. From the Leeds asset, he's definitely the best. So, this is the selection for this week. I'm going to show you some alternative players soon. So, for this week, I would probably captain Kane. You could also captain De Bruyne. I think he's a good shout, but it's his form, of course, if he's gonna. Let's see tonight against Southampton if he's actually gonna perform. And then we have Richarlison. I think his fixture is really, really good, so I think he's a good captain option as well. But any of those three, I would probably captain this week. So the alternative players, let's go for the defenders first. So you could go for Digne, just because Everton has some really good fixtures, and Digne is a really attacking good option. He gets a lot of points, because both bonus points, but also assist points. I think it's a good option. Then we have Dunk, who's playing Southampton this week, so obviously Southampton is playing Brighton, as I forgot to put the fixture on Forster. But Dunk, Brighton has conceded quite some goals recently. They're still pretty good defensively, and they do have game in 29. I wouldn't put him if they didn't have the game in 29, but he's a player you could go for in case you just want to load up on as many 29 players as possible. And then we have two Chelsea defenders here as well, Rudiger and Alonso. And the reason why I put both of them is because Rudiger is the cheapest Chelsea defender right now that actually is playing pretty much every game. He missed out on the last game, but hopefully that was just a rest and he's not gonna miss out more, because if he does play, it's a really good option for the cash. And then Alonso is the most exciting Chelsea defender, I would say, because he is so attacking. Someone said on Twitter, like, whoever made Alonso as a defender robbed us of one of the greatest strikers of our generation, because he seems like he is a striker that's playing like a defender. He is really good. The only thing about him is he has a little bit of rotation risk with Chilwell, of course. So if you want to take the risk, sure, there might be a lot of upside if you bring it in. I'm gonna probably look to bring it in, but I think it's really good. And Reguilon, Spurs keeping clean sheets, I don't really trust, but he's a good attacking option. Also has a game in 29, and Spurs has some really good fixtures coming up as well, so I like him as an option. Then we have the midfield. Mason Mount is playing Leeds, or Chelsea is playing Leeds, but Mason Mount against Leeds I think could be a good option. He is in good form. Leeds always concede goals. Son, you can definitely go for Son instead of Bale, or even instead of De Bruyne if you want to triple up on that Tottenham attack. But he's a really good option, of course. Saka and Aubameyang, I do like the Arsenal assets because they are a bit differential, and they do have a game in 29, and they have some really good fixtures coming up as well. So I'm looking to maybe switch my Salah in my team to Aubameyang this week, just because it's a differential. I do want Bale, but I do already have Son and Kane, so I'm probably not going to triple up. I might go for Aubameyang, but I'm not really sure. And then we have Traore playing against Newcastle. They have a game in 29. They're going to have a double game week coming up at some point during the season, so Aston Villa players are good options. And then we had attack, where of course you can go for Bamford. I think if you have Rafinha, it might be enough from the Leeds right now, because Leeds fixtures coming up after the blank game week in Game 30 is kind of difficult. So I wouldn't really go all in on Leeds right now if you're gonna wildcard. Lacazette, he didn't play the last game, or he played, but he didn't play. He's not a starter always, so it's a little bit of rotation risk. But he's a good differential, I think, for as an Arsenal player. And then we have Watkins. Good to have an Aston Villa player, but I don't really like Watkins as a player, to be honest. And as an FPL asset, he scores points sometimes. I haven't owned him at once this season, and I think now with Grealish out, I don't really trust him too much. If you were gonna go for an Aston Villa midfield / attack, and Grealish is still injured, I would go for Traore. I think he looks the most exciting when you watch them. And then we have Werner, of course, the joke of the season, pretty much. Like, he gets so many chances, but he just doesn't score, which is so annoying. But I think against Leeds, he will get opportunities, and he could be a good differential if you really want to take a risk. I probably wouldn't go for him myself, but he is a player you could go for. Obviously, you could include Salah in these alternative players, but I think you should wait with Liverpool a little bit and see how they perform. Maybe you can wait and see how they perform against Wolves, and then maybe try to bring it in. But yeah, so this is the team. Hope you liked it. If you have any questions, let me know. And good luck this weekend.